Yeah, good morning. So yesterday we discussed one problem in simplex method. I told what are the steps in simplex method, how to solve that LPP. So today we'll discuss one more problem. Problem number two. Right. Solve the following LPP. Solve the following LPP by using simplex method. Solve the following LPP by using simplex method. Right. Maximum z equal to maximum z equal to 3x1 plus 2x2, 3x1 plus 2x2, 3x1 plus 2x2. Right. Next line, subject to the constraints, subject to the constraints, subject to the constraints. Right away, first constraint, minus 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 9. Minus 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to 9. Right on the second constraint, x1 minus 5x2 greater than or equal to minus 20. x1 minus 5x2 greater than or equal to minus 20. So how many constraints are there? Two constraints are there. How many decision variables are there? How many decision variables are there? If you talk two, that means n x1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0. x1 comma x2 greater than or equal to 0. So this is a problem given. This particular problem can also be solved by using graphical method also, because only two decision variables are there. So you can use graphical method. So but in this case, what is the question? Question is solve the following LPP by using simplex method. So all of you know simplex method steps. Already I've done one problem. So the same steps we will use here also. Okay. So what is the first step in simplex method? Simplex method step number one is check your objective function is maximization or minimization. If it is maximization, you can ignore step number one. If it is minimization, then convert the minimization into maximization by using the relation maximum z star equal to minus minimum z. That is step number one. So in this case, already your objective function is maximization type. That means you can ignore step number one. If it is minimization, then only you can use that relation. So already the maximization is given, so you don't require, you can ignore step number one. Next, step number two. What is step number two? Check the right hand side values of the constraints. Check the right hand side values of the constraints. If all are positives, ignore step number one. If all are positives, ignore step number one. If any one value is negative, then multiply that constraint into minus 1. So here if you observe here, this is 9 positive, so you should not apply step number 2, but this is negative. Negative means what you have to do? You have to multiply that entire constraint into minus 1. So what I mean by step number 2? Step number 2 is nothing but check the right hand side values of the constraints. If both are all the values are positives, you can ignore step number 2. If any value is negative, then multiply that constraint into minus 1. In this case, you got negative here minus 20. So what I will do, I will multiply this entire constraint into minus 1. So entire constraint into minus 1 I will do. So then what you will get? Right. Step number 2. Step number 2. That is step number 3. x1 minus 5x2 greater than or equal to minus 20. x1 minus 5x2 greater than or equal to minus 20. So multiply the constraint into, this is into, this is not x, this is into minus 1. Into minus 1. Then that implies, if you were to multiply minus 1 into every value, that is what you get. What you will get here? So this is nothing but minus x1. This is minus into minus plus, you will get 5x2. Okay, right. Now this greater than or equal to becomes less than or equal to. So less than or equal to minus 20 becomes 20. Minus 20 becomes 20. Now, if you observe, both the right hand side values are positives. So step number 2 is completed. Okay, this is into, I think you have no confusion, then otherwise write like this, into minus 1. Into minus 1. Whenever any value is negative, multiply that entire constraint into minus 1. So that means what you will get, this is minus x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 20. Now see the constraint, this is the first constraint, this is the second second constraint now. First constraint minus 2x1 plus 3x2 less than equal to 9. This is positive. Okay, so minus x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 20. This is also positive. Now how many constraints are there? Two constraints are there. So step number 2 is completed now. Next step number 3. Step number 3. Step number 3 is nothing but you have to make these inequalities. You have to make these inequalities into equalities. So how will you make these inequalities into inequalities? Inequalities into equalities by introducing of slack and or surplus variables. So when slack variables are used only for less than or equal type constraints. When surplus variables are required only for greater than equal type constraints. Now in this particular problem, how many less than equal type constraints are there? See the first constraint is less than equal type. So now second constraint is this one, not this one. Okay, second constraint is this one now. This is also less than equal type. Less than equal to means you require slack variable. So that means how many less than equal type constraints are there? Two are there. That means how many slack variables required? Two are required. So original problem, how many variables are completed? Original problem x1, x2 is completed. So what are the slack variables you will consider? What are the slack variables? x3, x4. Right now, step number 3. Step number 3. Step number 3. Introduce. Step number 3. Introduce the slack variables. The slack variables. Introduce the slack variables x3, x4 greater than equal to 0. x3, x4 greater than equal to 0. Introduce the slack variables x3, x4 greater than equal to 0 and put the costs of these variables and put the costs of these variables and put the costs costs of these variables is equal to 0 in the objective function and put the costs of these variables is equal to 0 in the objective function. Then we get next line maximum z equal to 3x1 plus 2x2. Now slack variable. So slack variable cost is 0 in the objective function. This is the objective function or not? So in the objective function, put slack variables cost is equivalent to 0. That means what we will get 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 0x3 plus 0x4. Okay, then we get maximum z equal to 3x1 plus 2x2 plus 0x3 plus 0x4. Slack variables cost is 0. So that's why I'm putting 0. Okay. Next line. Now take the first constraint. So this is the first constraint. See the first constraint. This is the first constraint. Minus 2x1 plus 3x2 less than equal to means first slack variable is added. What is the first slack variable? What is the first slack variable? x3 is added for the first constraint so that inequality becomes equivalent. That means what you get plus x3 added means plus x3 because how many variables are there in the problem? 4 variables are there. Leave some space for the fourth variable so that inequality becomes equivalent to value. What is that value? First value is 9. Okay, so I am adding the slack variable so that inequality becomes equivalent to value, whatever may be the value. Now see the second constraint. This is the second constraint. This is the second constraint is also less than equal to. Less than equal to means next slack variable is added. What is the next slack variable? x4. x4 is added to the second constraint. So tell me the second constraint. What is it? Minus x1 plus 5x2. Minus x1 plus 5x2. Already x3 is added here, so there will be no value here. x3 won't be there. So that means won't be there means what is the x3 value? 0. Means what is 0 x3. Now second constraint is also less than equal type. Next slack variable is added. Added means coefficient is 1. Okay. So next slack variable is added. Added means plus x4. Don't write 0 x4. Okay. Plus x4. Slack variable is added. Here slack variable is added. Coefficient is 1. Here slack variable is added. Coefficient is 1. Okay. So here x4 is added. So what is the x4 value here? x4 is there here. So that means what is the x4 value here? 0. So that equal to what is the value? 20. Equal to 20. And how many variables are there now? How many variables are there? 4. And xj greater than equal to 0. J equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 variables are there, so x equal. So this is the standard form of an LPP. And step number 3 is nothing but you have to convert the LPP into standard form. Standard form means what is it? Objective function is maximization, constraints are equal to time. So how will you convert into standard form? by introducing slack variables and or surplus variables. In this particular problem, less than equal type constraints are there. So that's why I am taking two slack variables so that the inequalities becomes equalities. So after getting the standard form, you require matrix form. So put aside in matrix form of an LP. Matrix form. Matrix form. So already I have told you what is the matrix form. Maximum z equal to Cx. Capital C is the matrix, X is the matrix. So Cx. So subject to the constraints, what is the constraint? Capital Ax equal to capital A, and X is greater than equal to C. So this is called matrix form of an LP. Now you have to identify the matrices. First I will identify where C equal to. First I will identify C matrices. What is the C matrices? C means objective function cos. This is the objective function. Objective function cos 3, 2, 0, 0. Okay. 3, 2, 0, 0. Row matrix. C is always a row matrices. Okay. Next you have to identify A. A means coefficients of the equations. So these are the two constants or two equations you got. So coefficient values. What is the coefficient values? -2, 3, 1, 0. So first -2, 3, 1, 0. Next coefficient, next constant is this one. Next equation is this one. Coefficient values. What is this coefficient? -1, 5, 0, 1. Okay, -1, 5, 0, 1. Now A is completed. Next, what is the X you have to identify? X and how many variables are there in the problem? How many variables are there in this here? How many variables are there? 4 variables are there. So that means what is it? X1, X2, X3, X4. X4. X1, X2, X3, X4. Last one is B matrices. B means right hand side values. What is the right hand side values of the constants? 9 and 10. Okay. So 9, 20. So B and X is always column matrix. Okay. So that's why B I have entered. Now matrix form is completed. The step number 3 is completed. Next, what you have to do? All of you know what you have done. Next step is nothing but starting table. Okay, simplex table you have to draw. So starting table or initial table. Okay. So we move to the next step. If you practice problems, then automatically it will get easy. It will be easy to you. Okay. So starting table or initial table. Starting table. What are the columns required? Already I have told. What is the first column in simplex table? Everyone, what is the first column? First column is YB. YB means what are the variables that enters into the basis. Next column, what is the next column? CB. CB means whatever variable enters here, what is the cost of those variables? And next column is XB. XB means B matrices. Okay, then how many variables are there in this problem? How many variables are there? 4 are there. And X1, X2, X3, X4. That means basis you have denoted as Y. That means what are the variables we considered? Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. And Cj is the cost matrix. 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 Okay? Now see. First always write your C matrices first. C matrices means this is the C matrices. So what is the C matrices? 3, 2, 0, 0. Now you have to fill the entire table. So how will you fill? First you have to identify what are the variables enters to the basis. Where do you get the unit matrix elements? Those variables enters to the basis in order. Unit matrix elements. How many constraints are there? Only 2 constraints are there. That means go for 2 by 2 unit matrix. 2 by 2 unit matrix means 1 0 0 1. Go for 1 0. In this one 1 0. Where 1 0 is there? This is 1 0. This is 0 1. So where do you get the unit matrix elements? Those variable enters. This is x1 coefficients. This is x2 coefficient. This is x3 coefficient. This is x4 coefficient. So x3, x4 enters. First x3. In order you have to enter. First 1 0. After that 0 1. So 1 0 means x3. 0 1 means x4. So 1 0 means x3. x3 means what is the basis is y. So I am denoted as y3. So y3 is the first variable, and after that x4. x4 means y2. Now see the cost. y3 variable cost. Cost it itself it is there. y3 variable cost is 0. y4 variable cost is 0. Okay. Next B matrices. x3 means B matrices. See the B matrices. What is your B matrices? 9 20. 9 20. 9 20. Next, as it is representation of A matrices. A matrices as it is you have to copy. What is A matrices? -2, 3, 1, 0. minus 2 3 1 0. Next values, what is that? Minus 5 minus 1 5 0 1. Now table is, all the values are completed in the table. What you have to calculate? Two things you have to calculate now. What are the two things you have to calculate? What are the two things you have to calculate? You have to calculate z value and net evaluation value. So what is the z formula? What is the z formula? Z formula is nothing but summation cb into xb. cb into xb. Next step, what you have to calculate? Net evaluation. What is the net evaluation formula? Net evaluation formula is summation. Net evaluation formula is summation cb into yj minus cj. I think already we have used in the first problem the same concept. Problem will be, numerical values will be different. Okay. So first I will calculate the z value. So in both the formulas, what is fixed? Cb is fixed. So just mark like this, so that it will you will get an identification simply. Cb is the fixed column. Okay. So in the both the formulas, Cb is there. That's why I have marked like this. So now use those formulas. First, what you have to calculate? Z. So Z formula is Cb into Xb. 0 into 9 0, 0 into 20 0. Total value will be 0. So ordinary simplex method, always starting table Z value will be 0. Starting table or initial table Z value will be 0. Next, what you have to calculate? Net evaluations you have to calculate. Net evaluation is denoted by Zj minus Cj. Zj minus Cj. Net evaluation is denoted by Zj minus Cj. Okay. So net evaluation is denoted by Zj minus Cj means what is that? How many variables are there? 4. That means this is Z1 minus C1, this is Z2 minus C2, this is Z3 minus C3, this is Z4 minus C4. So you can apply the formula. What is the formula? First Cb into Yj. Yj means whichever column you have to take. Yj means what is that? Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. 4 variables are there. 4 variables are there means first Y1, next Y2, Y3, Y4. Okay. So I will consider Cb into Y1. Cb into Y1. See, 0 into minus 2, 0. 0 into minus 1, 0. So take summation. Summation will take the total. So what is the value here? 0. 0 minus 3. 0 minus 3 is minus 3. Now Cb into Y1 is completed. Next Cb into Y2. Now see, 0 into 3. 0 into 3 is 0. 0 into 5. 0. So what is the total value? 0. 0 minus 2. 0 minus 2 is minus 2. Okay. Next, 0 into 1. 0. 0 into 0. 0. Total value is 0. 0 minus 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Simply this also will get 0. Okay. If you get all our positives, solution is completed. If you get all our positives here at a greater than or equal to 0, if all Zj minus Cj greater than or equal to 0, solution is completed. If you get single negative, suppose we are getting like this is plus 3 you are getting, then single negative means directly this enters. Listen carefully. What is the first one? If all are positives are like this. After completing the table, you have to check these conditions. If you get all are positives, 0 or more, the solution is completed. Whatever your Z value, that is your answer. Okay. Suppose if you get single negative means directly this. Suppose I am getting single negative. Single negative means directly that enters. That enters means which vector? Y2 enters here. Y2 enters into the basis. If you get a single negative. So if you get more than one negative, in this problem I am getting more than one negative. Always choose the most negative. Most negative means ignore the negative. Ignore negative. Which is bigger, 2 or 3? 2 or 3. That means most negative is minus 3. Okay. So that means which variable enters here? Y1 wants to enter here. But already the basis is filled. The basis is filled with Y3 and Y4. Already two basis elements are there. One is Y3 and one is Y4. So Y1 wants to enter into the basis. That means some variable must be deleted. So how to identify the deleting variable? So I have given the formula for that one. What is the formula? So you have to calculate ratio. What is the ratio formula? Minimum of xb by entering column. In this case, what is your entering column? Only denominator will change. Xb by whatever your entering column. What is entering column? You got y1. If you got y1, you can denominator you can write y1. Suppose entering column if you get this one, then you can write y2. Suppose entering column if you get this one, then denominator you have to write y3. In this problem, what is the entering column? Entering column is y1. Entering is this one. Entering means this one. That means what is that? Y1. But the condition is in your entering column 0 is there, negative number is there, don't consider the ratio in your entering column. Entering column is this one. 0 is there, negative number is there, don't consider the ratios. Only positive numbers ratios are required. And what is the meaning of that sentence? I have told at least one positive is required for the deleting vector. If you have one positive value, then only ratio exists. If ratio exists, then only you can delete any variable. So that means what is that? In your entering column, if 0 is there, negative number is there, don't consider the ratios. That means at least one positive value is required. So if you observe here, 0 is there, negative number is there, don't consider the ratios. But in this case, what happened? -2 is also negative, -1 is also negative. And you won't get the ratios. That means you won't get the deleting vector. This type of solutions are called unbounded solutions. I am getting initial table. Sometimes you may get in first table or second table like that. You may get like this. In your entry column, one positive is required. At least one positive is required. So, but in this case, what is that? Both are negatives. Sometimes you may get one negative number and one zero. Then also unbounded solution only. Only positive number is required. Positive number means suppose here 2 is there, 1 is there, more than 0 is there, then ratio exists. Okay, so that means in this case what is that? In this case what is the value you got? In this case what is the value you got? This is -190. This is the -190. So in your entry column 0 is there, negative number is there, don't consider the ratios. Entry column both the values are negatives. That means ratio does not exist. Ratio does not exist means you cannot identify the deleting variable. So such type of solutions are called unbounded solutions. Okay, so either you will get all are positives or you may get unbounded solutions. Only two cases in simplex problems. What is the first one? Either you will get optimum solution. When you will reach the optimum solution, if you get all are positives greater than or equal to 0 here, then you will get the optimum solution. Otherwise, you may get unbounded solution. When you will get the unbounded solution in your entering column, no positive exists. Okay, in your entering column, no positive exists. That means negative values or 0 exist. Then that type of solutions are called unbounded solutions. Okay, so that means in your entering column, at least one positive is required. If positive value is not there, then that type of solutions are called unbounded solutions. That means for this particular LPP, this LPP has an unbounded solution. Okay, so write it. I think all of you understood. Right, next time. So which variable enters? -3 enters. -3 means what is that? 1. That means what is that? Z1 minus C1 is the most negative. Okay, so right. Z1 minus C1 is the most negative. Z1 minus C1 is the most negative. Therefore Y1 enters into the basis. Therefore Y1 enters into the basis. Z1 minus C1 is the most negative. Therefore Y1 enters into the basis. Next time. But in Y1 both the elements are negative. Both the elements are negative. But in Y1 I have taken Y1, Y1 enters into the basis means that means I have taken Y1. So right. But in Y1 both the values are negative. Within brackets, what are the values? -2, -1. -2 and -1. Both the values are negative. Within brackets, -2 and -1. -2 and -1. Therefore, we cannot identify the deleting variable. Therefore, the given LPP has Therefore, the given LPP has an unbounded solution. Therefore, the given LPP has an unbounded solution. Therefore, the given LPP has an unbounded solution. Okay. So first problem, solution exists. Second problem, unbounded solution. Only two models are there. Either solution exists or you may get unbounded solution. Solution exists means what is that? All zj minus cj greater than equal to 0. Then you will get the solution. Okay. So unbounded solution means what? In your entering column, whatever may be the entering column in the problem, in your entering column, if positive number does not exist, then that is an indication of unbounded solution. Okay. So tomorrow we will discuss one more problem in simplex method. Okay.